All right, another day. Good morning, Eyes Open Media. Well, I'm out here again early because I don't, during the week I'm always online. I'm always just trying to find the next big thing online. I'm trying to do my YouTube videos and things of that nature, keeping up with THW Global and all the other things that I'm going to be sharing with you guys. Hopefully, this week on the main channel and this channel I share with you guys my latest thing, which actually doesn't need have you don't have to wait. THW Global can't, you have to wait. We have to wait for it to launch. We have to wait till we have 50,000 people who has filled out the surveys. I don't know the number. Hopefully this week they tell us the number. Maybe it's 30,000 people. Maybe it's 40,000 people. But that number will definitely encourage us to get the word out for everybody to fill out their surveys, because we're only 20,000 down or 10,000 down, and we can get there in the next 48 hours if everybody just go to the back office and fill out their surveys. You want to get paid? You want to start watching videos to get paid or what? You know what I mean? But anyways, let's go on from there. So I will hopefully I'm bringing something this week to you guys that's actually people are getting paid out. It's actually real, and yeah. So hopefully I bring that to you guys this week. Because I'm gonna get in myself first. I'm gonna make sure that I see everything, and because I know a couple of people that are in it, and they're getting paid, and they've already shown proof of payment. So yeah. So anyways, it's a morning. It's a great day. And I know a lot of people are disappointed. They're like, man, what's going on? Yesterday I talked about Sadr. I told you guys that, we could see the reforms launch. We could see the RV at any time if Sadr just tells his men to get it done. You know what I mean? But the problem is that Sadr's working with a body. So Sadr knows the timetable, he knows the timeline, he knows everything. This is one of the reasons why he told people not to wear military uniforms at the parade demonstration. He told people, don't bring your military uniforms. There's no need for guns. We're just going to go out there and we're just going to protest. Basically, we're just going to go out there and waste time. And people were confused. People were like, what's going on? Why are we out here just saying the same thing we said 3 months ago, 6 months ago? Why aren't we taking action like we did when we went to the green zone and we tore things up? Of course, they only tore up some cheap stuff, but and they did hackle a couple of government employees, but that was about it. They didn't do much, and of course, Maliki's men were mixed in with that as well. But I think people are starting to they're like, why are we just shouting again? There's a million of us. And, I did indicate that yesterday on 365 pitch. I'm like, I know, Sadr, this has got to be embarrassing, because here's a group of people, here's a group of men that were able to take over Turkey, supposedly. I'm pretty sure it was a hoax. Okay, I'm pretty sure it was a hoax, guys and girls. You know what I mean? But either way, or either a hoax or it was planned from the inside. Oregon wanted himself to look better. Okay, he knew they probably planned it out that way. Some type of hoax to make the president Oregon and look a better light and see how many people were actually supporting him. Okay, because he is an oppressor, and he wants to be a dictator in Turkey. Okay, and people are supposedly tired of that. But when you got military trying to take over the country, the citizens are going to back the country up, and not the people trying to take over the country, because they probably don't know who those people are, and they think that those people are dangerous. So they rather go with the oppressor than the guys that are trying to take over the country to free themselves for a better life. So the citizens chose the wrong people. Actually, they chose the oppressor, because they didn't know what the other people had entailed. Okay. So if the other people had come out and say, look, we are anonymous or whatever, and we're going to be taking over, and freedom for all, and we're going to get rid of this oppressor, I think the people would have backed them. But because the people didn't know about it, they went for the oppressor. Okay. So it is what it is. So the oppressor is trying to, make himself look like he's all good now, and then like, yeah, everybody back me up. So I'm not really oppressing people, which is a lie. Okay, so they probably put that together, and then everybody who commented on it, like Hillary, Obama, and all the other people around the world, were probably in on it as well. because it is what it is. They always do that, right? Every time they're in on something, they always have to comment or write a letter or something like that, or make a statement. Because other times they don't make a statement for a lot of things. A lot of things happen around the world, especially in Africa and all types of other things. They don't make statements. Things go on in Africa and these people will never make a statement, but they make statements for certain things. Okay, so there's a lot of things that go around the world that are bad, but they don't get the media coverage. 300 people dying in Nigeria from Boko Haram or Niger or all these other countries or people being slaughtered in Spain and all types of stuff. Christians being this, Muslims being that, gays doing that. They don't cover any of that stuff. They don't write letters. They don't. So it's only things they pick and choose that they want to talk about and they want to write letters to because most likely they were a part of it. Okay, so. Yeah, so people are upset because you got people like Frank and you got people like Dr. Clark and all these other guys in the Dinar community are now saying, look, it's going to September and October. Okay, so people are, and here's the thing: they're entitled to their own opinion because this is a study. It's not a nothing is guaranteed. Well, the one thing is guaranteed. Iraq has to do something with their currency soon because they can't live life that way. Because guess what? The money's going to run out. People are not going to want to lend to you any longer. Okay, the IMF has a big loan for them, but even with that $18 billion loan. I mean, Iraq needs $7 billion a month just to stabilize. So even with $18 billion, you're looking at 2.5 months. I mean, come on. So you know what I mean? If they use all $7 billion to stabilize, a lot of times they don't. A lot of times they've been getting by with like $3 billion, just surviving off of $3 billion. That's why they were having a liquidity crisis, right? So they need $7 billion a month to survive, right? So far they haven't even been close to those numbers. Okay, that's why they're in the problems that they're in now. So for people, to think that Iraq's is going to continue to get loans from the world is crazy because the IMF just told them that's not going to happen. That if you want the rest of these loans, you gotta launch your economic reforms. So that tells you Iraq's in a situation where they've never been in. They're in a situation where they can't get any more money. That $600 million is the last thing they're going to get from anybody around the world. Because when the IMF tells you to launch the economic reforms before you get anything else, I mean, what does that mean? So other countries are going to give money to them, like 100 million here, 50 million here for displaced people. They're going to have that money go to displaced people. Territory is not going to the Iraq government to function or, on a day-to-day basis. It's going for displaced people, okay, in territory. So when they give 150 million, Japan or China gives another 200 million, it's going to displace people and territory. It's not going to the Iraqi government to do what they want with the money, okay? So and the IMF is in control of that, so they're making sure that these people aren't stealing any more money, no more money laundering, okay? So and that money laundering law is in effect. So people are mad, people are angry because Frank is saying September, October. I guess for some reason he switched up quickly because I'm guessing people on Monday, when Frank had a call on Monday, I guess he was, or whatever he did on Monday, I guess had people excited, and then something must have happened on Wednesday, and then all of a sudden on Wednesday, Frank is saying, well, September, October, or something like that, or mid-August to September, October, and people are like confused because on Monday he was just saying, in the next 3 weeks they're going to turn those auctions off, I guess. So everybody's confused about that, I guess. And you know what? My thing is this, man. Take people what they study for what it is. It's just what they study. It's not what you study. You should be studying on your own. You should be doing your own studies, your own research on this. It's your investment. You pay for it. Frank paid for it out of his money or out of the commissions that he gets from his dealer. From when you guys buy the currencies, okay? So that's his studies with his people. You do your own study. Dr. Clark does a study, or says September. Time frame is right before the activation in Chinese yuan. I told you guys that I believe everything, all 5 countries. Let me see: Iraq, Iran, South Korea, Indonesia, and Iraqi dinar. Hold up. Let me do that over. Iraq, Iran. I missed Iran. Iraq, Iran, South Korea, Indonesia, and Vietnam. Okay, those are the five. Those all five of them should be ready to go. Should make a move before the Chinese yuan is activated. So, I mean, they want to push it out to September. That's what they want to do. It's day to day for us. I'm going to try to get more information from the banks. You know what I mean, and or at least from my source that has the banking information. I'm going to try to get more information on that to see what's really going on. And when something hits, I'm not going to tell you guys what it is because I can't do that. But you'll see me get excited if they get something. Okay, if the banks get something, if the people at the banks that know that they're doing get something, and you see, I don't talk about rates and dates and things. They gave us a time frame. That time frame is over. Okay, that time frame ended. Okay, and then they're in a hold pattern. They're in a hold. They're in a hold, and I'm not going to say anything else than that. But there's no rates on the screen. There's no. There's no nothing like that. You can, what I'm saying? So, when I get more information, I'll let you guys know. Like I said yesterday, they were I guess they were apparently joking that, man, we might be, the guy people at the bank said, man, this thing might drag on till freaking Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? So people they were joking, but they were also serious. Okay, because they want to go live their lives too. They're being held up. Put it that way. They're being held up to be able to live their life. Okay, because of this thing and because it's being delayed like it is. Okay. So it was supposed to already happen, and we know why it's not happening right now because the Iraqi government has people in there that are saying no to it. Okay, even though they've signed the agreements, the people in the Iraqi government are saying that they want to stay at status quo. They don't want to see this thing happen, and don't even blame them because that's what they want to do. They want to stay at status quo. That's on them. You blame Sadr because Sadr has 1 million people. Sadr has 1 million people. He can make this thing happen overnight. He can make this thing happen today. Okay. He can come on the TV screen and say, I got 1 million people. If you don't launch those economic reforms now, Iraqi government, you won't see tomorrow. I mean, think how easy that is. Think how easy that is for Sadr to come on the TV screen of Iraq and come on there and say, first of all, tell a body that he's going to do it, because he's working with a body and the United States. So if you're working with a body in the United States, Sadr can easily come on TV today and say, I am Sadr. You know what I mean? We are tired of what's going on in the government. We are tired of corruption. We're tired of everything. I have 1 million plus people behind me. Launch those economic reforms today. You have 24 hours. If you don't do it today, we're coming in and we will not be stopped. And we have the military behind us and we have the police behind us. Everybody wants the citizens to have their purchasing power and everybody wants Iraq back on the global market economy. Point blank and simple. That's what Sadr can say. Today he could do that today and the revaluation will be today or tonight or tomorrow. That's how easy it is. That is how easy it is. And the reason why I'm saying that's easy is because, number one, he has 1 million people. Number two, they've completed all the contracts. They've completed all the paperwork that gave the IMF the confidence to tell Iraq to lift your value and launch the reforms to get the rest of the loans. So that tells us right there that Sadr can do this at any time. So Sadr, listen to me. Get in front of the TV, in front of Iraq with the permission of the USA and a body, and tell the Iraqi government, the few people that are holding this up, and say, you got 1 million men, we're coming in with the military, with the armed forces, with the police officers, and we're going to take over the government. We're going to put the people in charge that we need, and we're going to raise that value. We're going to get the people purchasing power, and we're going to launch the economic reforms for our citizens, and then we're going to celebrate like it's 1999. You have 24 hours to do it yourself, or we're going to do it for you. And that's it. And then on top of that, he can say, and this has been approved by the IMF. Oh my goodness. Now that would be powerful. So eyes open. Let's see what happens, guys. Hopefully we hear something in the next 24 hours, man, from Sadr. And if not, man, this thing can lag on because these people don't want to change unless the IMF forced them or Sadr comes out and say, I got 1 million men. Let's get this done. All right. So that's it for me. Eyes open.